After a hectic week of Canvas outages and emails, office hours and grading and teaching, too few hikes, more office hours, grading and teaching, errands and meetings, even more emails and grading, I just needed time to stop. I needed to catch my breath and relax. My nervous system is on overload. It's time for a reset. A day to myself to pause, unwind, relax, and let time flow at a natural pace. Join me for a day where I slow down and reset my nervous system and focus on doing the things that make me happiest, the things that calm my brain down and make the world feel a little less chaotic and make time feel like it just slows down back to something a bit more normal. Starting with one of my favorite things, a sunrise hike. Welcome to Saturday. It has been such a, a busy, hectic, chaotic, not terrible week, but not great week either. There have been good moments and there have been not so good moments. Had a nice morning hike, not very long. Couldn't stay out there for very long, unfortunately. But I did get to enjoy a nice morning hike, and now I am just getting ready to go out to meet a friend. I am going to Changing Hands Bookstore today, so I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna meet up next door at Wildflower Cafe, have some coffee and chat for a while, probably, knowing us, and then go to the bookstore. But yeah, today's goal is truly to just relax. It wasn't a terrible week, and I need to be multitasking while I'm talking to you, which rarely ever works out when I'm vlogging, but I need to pack my tote bag and just get everything kind of switched around and ready to go out, because I'm gonna bring my notebook and my laptop with me. I also need to bring my ballot because I need to swing by the post office and drop that in the mail. So this week, it wasn't terrible. It really wasn't. And I do have to be mindful of that and not let my brain convince myself that it was worse of a week than it was, because it really wasn't that bad. Teaching went well. This was the first full week of B session. So I started it last week, but only had one day of teaching last week. This week I had two. They are already almost done with their first project. A and B sessions move so fast, which is not helping the problem that I'm having right now of just feeling like life is racing by. I was talking about this on Patreon, and just feeling like every week is just going by faster than the week before, and I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. I don't have a choice, so all I can do is adjust my reaction to it, but I'm not happy with it. I feel like I get through the week just kind of runs away with me, and I'm really trying not to let that happen, but it's really hard. You just get swept up in all the tasks and all the work that you have to do, and your schedule and meetings and appointments and calls and blah blah blah, and there were a lot of those this week, starting on Monday and going all the way through yesterday. Errands you're running, all of that, just it starts to feel a bit monotonous. Every day is the same, but every day is rushing by, and because every day is the same, it just makes it feel like you blink and it's Monday, and then you blink again and it's Friday, and then you blink again and it's the following Friday, and you don't even remember what you did the previous weekend, even though you know you had time off. Like, I can't believe last week was or last weekend was a 4-day weekend. And I know I was really busy and I was really productive and that was great. Was last week, was that? No, Andrea. Last weekend was not a 4-day weekend. The weekend before was a 4-day. This is what I'm talking about. Fall break feels like it was last weekend. Fall break was 2 weekends ago. Y'all, I'm telling you, it gets worse as you get older. The most fun part of this week was on Thursday. I finished teaching. It was a beautiful evening on campus. It really, I think it only got up to like 82 that day. So it was feeling pretty cool in the shade. There was a breeze. Like it wasn't cold, but it actually felt kind of nice. And so I was just ready. I was like, you know, tomorrow is just a work from home day. The weekend basically starts now. It just felt like I'm going to stop at Chipotle for dinner and treat myself, and it's going to be great. Get back to my car, put the key in the ignition, turn the ignition, nothing happens. I mean, lights come on the dashboard, and there's like that clicking sound. If you've ever had your car battery die, you know what I'm talking about. And I was just like, no. No, don't tell me the battery's dead. Sitting there in the parking garage. So went onto my insurance company, the app, and got roadside assisted and, you know, requested roadside assistance. The original ETA was 50 to 80 minutes. I nearly cried. I legit nearly cried. But I told myself, like, crying isn't gonna help. It is what it is. I had my journal with me. I had my phone. It was fully charged. I thought, okay, I'm gonna lift up the tailgate and just sit in the back of the car, because inside the car, even with the window rolled down, which I had been able to roll the window down slightly, there's enough battery for that. It was pretty warm. It wasn't hot. So again, like, thank God that this didn't happen a month ago when it was still 100+ degrees on campus. So it actually felt okay sitting in the back of my car with the lift gate up. Thankfully, the guy called to let me know he was en route and that he was only 20 minutes away. So I think he got there like 25 minutes after I submitted the request, which was way faster than I was expecting. So he got the car jumped, got on the road, stopped at an auto parts store, managed to get the battery fixed, but that was a whole other thing. I will make this long story a little bit shorter and I'll spare you that. Finally got the new battery installed, got back on the road, got home at like 6:15, didn't stop at Chipotle. So yeah, by yesterday, I was done. I was absolutely done. So today, I've had my nice hike. I'm gonna go hang out with my friend. I'm gonna treat myself to something yummy at the cafe and a nice coffee. I'm gonna let myself, if I can find something, if I don't find something, I won't buy anything. I will let myself buy one book. I don't need to buy a book, but if I find something, I will let myself buy one book. And I probably will be on the lookout for something used, unless there's a new release that I'm not aware of that I'm like, I need to have that. But yeah, I'm in that book buying mood. So I will let myself buy one book. We will see at the end of this vlog if I have stuck to that. My budget will really only allow one book, so if I find more than one, I'm gonna have to like add something to a list for the future, but I will allow myself to buy one book, probably a paperback, because I don't think my budget will extend to hardcover. So yeah, that is our plan for the day. It is 9:20, so I'm gonna get on the road because I'm meeting my friend at 10. And yeah, it's just gonna be a calm, quiet, cozy, relaxing day, doing all my favorite things and trying to calm my brain and my nervous system after a fairly stressful, hectic week. Bookstores are magical places, and changing hands specifically has become a safe space for me when my brain is just getting too overwhelmed. Meeting up with a friend for good food, conversation, book browsing, and then some co-writing, this is the kind of social outing that I crave as an introvert. It gets me out of my apartment and spending time with other people, but it's quiet and cozy. And making small talk or random conversation with a stranger in a bookshop is easy. I've seen the t-shirt that says, introvert, but willing to talk about books. And that basically sums me up. While looking at books today, my friend and I had a great 5-minute chat with another woman, a complete stranger, about books. Just an easy conversation about something that connected the three of us, even though we'd never met. A love for good books and a willingness to talk about them. After book shopping, we went back to the cafe to do some writing. This story has just been speaking to me so much in these last several chapters. The words feel like they're just flowing. And after a week where I felt like I was doing a million things at once, having a day where I can focus just on writing feels like a gift. Writing is like meditation for me. It gets me out of my head and into my character's mind. And as someone with ADHD whose brain often feels like it's bouncing between a million thoughts, writing is the one time I feel like I can focus on just one thing, which really helps calm my mind, reset my nervous system, and helps me to just be fully present in the present moment. Okay, I have been having a fantastic day. Feeling a lot calmer after this week for sure. I am done at the bookstore and at Wildflower Cafe. I'm now back up on my side of town and I'm at my second cafe of the day. So I'm gonna go in and get a small decaf coffee and do some more writing. So Jess and I had a fantastic time. We had brunch at Wildflower and chatted, caught up, work stuff, life stuff, all of that. We haven't seen each other, I think it was August, right before the semester started. It's just gone by so fast. So we caught up and then went and did some book shopping. I did buy 2 books. I had a valid reason. I will explain that and show you the books when I get home. And then after book shopping, we went back over to Wildflower and got ourselves another drink and a pumpkin spice cookie. Very good. I've only had a couple bites. I'll finish it probably later after dinner. And did some writing. So I think I got up to around 700. I need 800 today. I would like to get to at least 1,000. I'm almost done with chapter 21. So I want to finish chapter 21. I'm getting to the good part. It's not going to feel that way for my main character. I'm getting to like the really horrible part for her where everything's going to feel like it's falling apart. It's going to be okay for her. Eventually, she's just going to go through some stuff first. So yeah, I'm getting to the like really good part with the climax and everything. So I really want to finish the current chapter and move into the next chapter, which is the full climax chapter when everything really falls apart. So yeah, I really want to get myself in the position to write that on Monday and like throughout this next week. I didn't do any writing yesterday like I was supposed to. So that is one of the reasons why I'm writing today. The other reason is I just felt like writing. I am loving this story so much and I'm just really, really enjoying writing it. It's just, I'm picking up the pace of writing and getting really into the story. I feel like the second half of the book has been a lot stronger than the first half, and I feel a lot more confident about the second half. So I'm just enjoying writing this part a lot more. So I'll fix the first half when I edit everything, but yeah, I'm loving it. So yesterday I was just feeling really tired and yeah, just by the time I got done with work, I could either write or I could lay on the couch and watch YouTube, and that's what I chose to do. And some days that is the most valid choice. Yesterday was one of those days. And I knew that I was going to be going and meeting up with Jess today, and we do usually bring our laptops and do some writing when we meet up like that. So I figured I could do some writing today, and that's just how it's evolved. But yeah, her laptop died, and so we just kind of chatted for the rest of the time, chatted about our projects, which is always fun. And then once she had to leave, I just thought, I'm not quite ready to go home. I want to keep writing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm at another coffee shop. I'm just gonna get myself a small decaf latte, and unless they have like a iced tea or something, we'll see. And yeah, I just want to sit and write for like another hour. It's 2:45. I would like to be home by 4. So we'll see how much writing I can get done in the next hour and then head home, and I will show you what books I got. I'm really excited about them, so keep watching. But yeah, it's been a lovely day, and this is what I need. I thought about just staying at Wildflower, but I know I'm going to start to feel tired in about an hour. And so I figured, one, let me get back up to my side of town. So now I'm just like a short drive away from my apartment. So that'll be better once I'm done with writing. But two, as much as I love Wildflower, and I do, and I love going down and chatting with my friends because I meet other friends up there. It's such a great location for my friends who live on the other side of town for me. So like, it's a great meeting spot, and I love their food. Their coffee is really good. It is so loud in there. Even with my noise canceling earphones in, it's so loud. And so it wasn't really helping the overstimulation issues I've been having from this week. So the coffee shop I'm going into is usually a lot calmer and a lot more chill. And this one tends to get it's in an office block area. And so it's busier during the weekdays. I don't think it's going to be that busy on a weekend like this. The parking garage certainly isn't that busy. So I think this will be a little bit calmer. So I can put the AirPods in, focus on my writing, get this chapter finished, and then go home and probably start reading one of my 2 new books. Okay, I'm home. But that was really helpful and really productive. I will have just shown it on screen, but I got to 1,297 words. Very, very happy with that. So more than made up for not writing yesterday. I think my word count, my session target for yesterday was around 807 as well, maybe a tiny bit higher. I made up for that, plus did a little bit extra. So it'll be interesting to see. It might even be like in the 700s on Monday. So yeah, and then I finished chapter 21. I'm now up to 22, so there's only 3 chapters because I've just started chapter 22. So there's 3 chapters and the epilogue, and that is all that is left for this book. So I don't think I'm going to finish it this week, but I will probably finish it next week, which is wild because originally I was slated to finish this by mid-December, and then I started to think that I would have it done by like the week of Thanksgiving, like the Monday before Thanksgiving. And now I think I might have it done the end of next. So the end of next week is the 31st, and then the end of the week after that would be like November 6th or 7th, something like that. I originally wanted to have this finished by October 15th, so obviously we're past that. So if I can finish it by November 7th, then that's only 3.5 weeks later than my original deadline to finish this. So it's pretty wild that I have managed to go from being almost 2 months, like I had to push my deadline 2 months beyond what that October 15th, that original ideal deadline. And I've gone from 2 months delayed to now possibly only 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks behind that original date. But yeah, it's at 93,537 words. I'm really happy with it. And we are now definitely into the climax. So I did make myself stop. I could have kept going in the coffee shop, but one, they were about to close. They close at 4 on the weekends. But also I felt like I was getting to a point where if I kept going, I was just gonna get sucked into this next scene. So I'm at the beginning of this scene and of the climax, and it's just gonna be like a downhill race the rest of this chapter. And it's probably going to be a shorter chapter because it's really just one scene. And I do like keeping the last few chapters of a book on the shorter side. I'm not gonna finish it this week, but I might finish it this week. Could I finish it this week? Could I finish only 2.5 weeks after my original deadline? I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. But I'm really happy. Anyway, there's your writing update. Bookshop haul. I did get 2 books. In my defense, one of them is a used copy and I got a really good deal on it, so I couldn't help myself. The first things I got were a couple of cards. They're the same print. I got one for me and one for my mom because it's my mom's birthday tomorrow as I'm filming this. She might see, this vlog is gonna go up before I go over to the house. I don't think she's going to watch this, but just in case, Mom, here's your birthday card. So I got it because she loves owls, but it's also got a squirrel on it, which is why I got one for myself as well. But it looks very autumnal, and I try to find like autumn-ish cards for her because she's a late October, autumn, like that's definitely an autumn birthday. So yeah, I just thought this would be really cute. She tends to leave birthday cards and stuff up on the mantle until like the next person's birthday or the next anniversary or like the next occasion where she gets cards. So like this will stay on the mantle until Christmas cards start to arrive, maybe even later, because she has a different place that she puts Christmas cards. So I do try to find cute cards because I know that she puts them up on the mantle and like leaves them as display. So I think she's gonna like this one. And then I started looking at books. And I do have a list on my phone of like a wish list, like books that I want. So if I don't see something that just catches my eye, then I'll refer back to that list. And there was a book that got added to that list. And it's called Wayward by Amelia Hart. And I saw Morgan Long talking about this on one of her recent vlogs. And she said that she said she was really liking it. She was like a third of the way through, it seemed. And she said it was really good, but that it's very dark. And so I was on the fence. Like at first I was like being really sold on it, and then I thought, oh, I don't know if it's really dark. I don't know that I want to dive into that. But I then looked it up to see if I could add it like to my library list or something. There's a 23-week hold for the library. And I'm a very impatient person. So if a book sounds good enough, I don't want to wait for the library. But I read the description and it split between 3 different time periods, 2019, 1619, and 1942, and 3 women in each of those periods. One who is leaving an abusive relationship in London, that's the 2019. In 1619, there's a woman who's on trial for witchcraft, and then in 1942, there's a young woman who is dealing with a family and societal pressures, a family who doesn't support her, societal pressures, being a woman, etc., etc. This is all like ticking boxes for me. So I found it, I looked it up to see if they had it in stock, and they did. So I went to the shelf and it found it on the shelf. Thought, okay, I'm gonna sit down. There was a bench right in front of that shelf. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna read the first few chapters. But then my friend came around and found me because we always start together and then we split up. So she'd made it back to the section where I was, and so she was asking what I was looking at, and she saw this one and it's on her list and she'd heard good things about it. And then this other woman walked by and heard me talking about Kristen Hanna's book, The Women. I was mentioning it to my friend Jess, and that just brought this other woman into our conversation. She was kind of agreeing with what I said about the women. And then we started talking about Kristen Hanna's books, and then she pointed to this one and she's like, that one is also really, really good. And so I asked her a couple questions about like what level of darkness it is, and like would it be like, is it dealing with a lot of there are topics of abuse, things like that, but the woman in the bookshop, just another customer. I love this about book shopping, is like when you're just wandering the shelves and you see someone holding a book that you've read, like I can't help it. If I see someone considering a book that I've read, especially if I've loved it, I will say like, oh, that's a really good book. And so I love when people do that to me. So yeah, she was saying that like it does deal with those sorts of issues, but mostly it's about like women empowerment and the connection of women over time and things like that. All things that I love. And that while there are more sensitive issues, they're referenced and they're described loosely, she said, but it doesn't go into like explicit graphic detail. So I'll keep you all posted. But yeah, that hooked me. I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna get this one. But then, because this is by Amelia Hart, that was very close to Henry. And so I found a copy of The Secret Book of Flora Lee by Patty Callahan Henry, a nice hardcover copy, used, that's what the little yellow sticker is, for $9.95, which is, I believe, it's originally priced at, I'm wearing my contacts, so I need my reading glasses, $28.99. So for pretty much $20 off and half the price of the paperback, because they had the paperback new in stock on the shelf, and that was $18.99. So I couldn't pass it up, because this one was also on my list. So when I found another book on my list in a beautiful hardcover for 2/3 off, I couldn't pass it up. I bought 2 books, but I don't regret it. And I am now on a spending ban other than fixed expenses and absolute essentials for at least the next week, but ideally 3 weeks. I have definitely blown my budget of like non-essential spending between dining out at Wildflower and then book shopping. I'm cut off for now, but that's okay. I'm totally fine. It was worth it. It was worth it. So once I got to the coffee shop, when I finished writing, I still had a little bit of time before they closed, and I started reading this, and I am 3 chapters in. Some of them are short chapters, but I have now read at least 1 full chapter essentially of each of the 3 women, and it's now gone back to the character in 2019, and I'm hooked. So I think I'm gonna spend at least the next hour. It's 4:23. I think I'm gonna spend at least the next hour reading before I have dinner. And then I might do some more reading before bed. I'm gonna put Discovery of Witches on hold. I've read it a million times, so I'll be able to pick right back up with it. But I've not been, I've kind of in a reading slump. Like, I'm enjoying reading when I pick up a Discovery of Witches. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not reaching for a book, and I think it's because it's a reread. So I want to dive into this and just probably tear through it today and tomorrow. Certainly want to finish it by Monday, I think. So far, this is ticking all the boxes, so I want to dive in a bit more. And it feels like the perfect book for late October as well. So I'm gonna go get cozy, get reading, and see how far I can get tonight. Okay, I'm nearly halfway through and I'm into part 2 of the book. This is really good. So stay tuned to a future vlog. I will let you know my thoughts once I finish it. And I'll probably post something on Patreon and in the newsletter. Yeah, this is really good. It does deal, one of the plot lines does deal with domestic violence, so keep that in mind. One of the other plot lines, I get very creepy vibes off of one of the male characters, so I'm curious to see where that goes. But I will say that when stuff happens, it's not depicted in graphic detail, it's not lingered on. It's a lot of it in the one plot line, it's flashbacks of stuff. I'm not finding it super dark, but I think someone who is more sensitive to topics and themes like domestic violence, it might be. The writing is really good. I'd say it's striking that balance for me between really strong prose, beautiful language, strong language that just kind of jumps off the page, but it's also really tightly written. Each chapter is relatively short and you bounce from one perspective and plot line to the next in pretty equal order. It's also all in 3 different tenses. So Alpha, which is the farthest in the past, 1619, is written in first person present. Violet is written in third person past, and Kate is written in third person present. And I generally speaking, I do prefer third person past. That's what I tend to write in. That's what I tend to gravitate towards the most. But I do really like when there are multiple POVs, when each POV is in a slightly different tense, because I feel like subconsciously I start to associate that tense with that character. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I don't think I'm going to last long with this one. I'm gonna stop reading for the night. I've been reading all evening, so it's almost 7, I think. So I want to stop reading, just relax on the couch, watch some TV for a bit before I have to get ready for bed. I have needed this. Like, I just feel like I get to the weekends and I'm just so desperate for calm, quiet, cozy days where time just slows down a little bit. And I feel like I accomplished that. Like, I feel like I've done a lot today, and I feel like today has taken a long time. Like, during the week, I feel like it'll get to be 6, 7 p.m. and I'm like, I feel like it was just 8 a.m. Like, the day has gone by in a blink. Today, like, I went hiking at 7, and that feels like it was many hours ago. Like, it feels like it's been a whole day, if I'm making sense. Like, I just feel like during the weekdays I get to the evening and I'm like, where has the day gone? But on the weekends, if I manage my time correctly and if I let myself just do what I want to do and not force myself to do a bunch of things, like tomorrow I'm going to have to edit a video. There's no way around that. And I've got a call with some friends and I'm looking forward to that. So like, that'll be good. But I need at least one day where there's nothing that I have to do, where I don't do what I should do. I just do what I want to do. And so today, going for my hike this morning, taking some time to put on a bit of makeup, blow dry my hair, all of that stuff, go down and meet Jess, we met up at 10 and we were together until about 2. So 4 hours with Jess, chatting, book shopping, chatting some more, writing, chatting some more. All of that was just lovely. And then about an hour in the coffee shop back up on my side of town. and now reading all afternoon. Like, it's been 3 hours since I've been home, but it feels like longer in a good way. Like, I feel relaxed, and I need that. I made all the right decisions today. I feel like, and I'm gonna make sure tomorrow feels this good as well. Tomorrow will be fine. I'll have more stuff that I do kind of need to do, but it'll still be good. So yeah, it's been a lovely day. So thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd really appreciate both of those things. Links to all my stuff are in the description box. Patreon newsletter, all of my books if you are so inclined to check out any or all of those. It is much appreciated. Leave me some book emojis in the comments to let me know which one of you lovely people have made it all the way to the end of this vlog. And our question for this vlog: have you read Wayward or The Secret Book of Flora Lee? Thoughts on either of these books if you've read them. No spoilers, but overall thoughts would be very interesting. If not, then you can tell me what is the most recent book that you have bought or borrowed from the library, if you do that more than buy books. So what is your most recent book acquisition or loan? Or what is the book that you are currently reading? If you're currently on a book buying ban, what is the book on your TBR pile that you are finally reading? Because if you're anything like me, books probably linger on your TBR pile for a while before you finally get to them. We can also chat about, like, are you a mood reader? Like, I'm in the mood to read this, and so it doesn't matter that I've got like 24 books on my physical TBR pile, and even more. I've got like 5 books on the library app where my hold has been suspended. They've changed their rules, so I can read them at any time. Am I reading them? No. So yeah, we can talk about being a mood reader, and do things tend to jump to the top of your TBR list? Because they definitely do with mine. And yeah, I'm gonna go now, but I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye! Thank you.